So my name's Kristen Nasta and I'm a senior designer. I've always wanted to be a fashion designer since I was a little girl. Ever since kindergarten, we would put like what you want to be when you grow up. I'd always put a fashion designer. And this was because I've always been a very creative person and I've always loved to take my energy and my feelings into art and create something that would make people feel the same way that I did. So I felt like fashion was a really good avenue where I could create physical clothing and things that people could wear and would make them feel the same way I did and be able to express themselves however they want. So my collection is called The Nostalgic Future, and basically what it is, it's a way for me to take the concepts and trends of the 80s and modernize it to reflect today's ideals. So when we look back at the 80s was a time of like everything was bold and very eccentric, and we saw a lot of technological advances and a lot of consumer consumption. And we also saw this intensity and hope for the future. Since everything was so grand then and so optimistic, everyone really thought that the future would be even better. So fast forward to today, post-pandemic, while it's still a very uncertain time in our lives and there's still a lot of things we need to resolve, we are starting to see that hope and optimism for the future come up again. So this collection was really a way for me to take those eccentric ideas and like those bold statements from the 80s and use it to reflect today's optimism and hope for the future. In terms of inspiration, I'm taking my direct design ideas from this designer called Pratik Vatash, who is this 3D architectural designer, and he creates these architectural images that reflect this idea of retro nostalgia, which is remembering the 80s and remembering the past and anticipating the future in hopes that those things will come back again. So it's really given me a lot of ideas for color and design details and really just bringing this kind of retro aesthetic. My consumer is definitely someone who's a little bit younger. She's someone who's not afraid to be outside of the box. She's very bold and she loves to wear bright colors and really these statement pieces and loves to stand out. So she's definitely not someone who's shying away from attention. So my look 3 is a 3-piece look. It's very bright and sparkly and there's a lot of embellishments, and I feel like there's a lot of surprising elements in that really kind of is that statement piece for the collection. I would say that my biggest takeaway is learning to trust myself. I feel like there's always so much going on and there's so much doubt, and sometimes your insecurities and fears get the better of you and you kind of get frustrated when you reach like these points that you feel like you can't get across. So I feel like by doing my own collection, it's really taught me how to trust myself and trust that I will figure things out eventually, even if I haven't figured it out yet. One thing you can expect to see is overall just a really fun and bright collection. It's something to definitely think a little further about, but it's not something to take so seriously. So I think something that's fun, and there's going to be a lot of prints and colors and a lot of embellishments. So definitely something that's going to be more of a fun look.